Happy Taco Tuesday.
Ooh, tacos would have been good.
I had tacos tonight. I had shrimp tacos, so that was yummy.
I had a burger and mashed potatoes. I had to make mashed potatoes for Zoe.
Oh, very good. She's showing everybody that she's using my chopstick.
This
From the
was
Celtic Bee.
the strawberry lip balm. Maya stole my mint. She's like, ooh, can I have lips?
Mint's my favorite. The mint one is my fave.
She likes how it gives it like a gloss too. So, yeah. She
I
likes
do that.
that.
I do that sometimes too. My kids were using the chopstick like crazy up in California because it's so dry out there. You know, we were constantly lotioning it up, and my face was looking like crap. Like I don't even know. Like my face, my hair, everything just would not work in California.
Well, the environment's the complete opposite of our tropical one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like that every time I go visit Illinois, even though it's not quite as dry. And when we lived in Arizona, no, girl, like we had bottled water. Luke and I each had 2 or 3 bottles of water at night, so you could just chug it in the middle of the night.
You feel so dry. It's like the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Rebecca. So tell us what we're doing tonight.
Well, we here at Bloop believe that readers have the right to know, so that's why we come on and do these lives every week so that we can review a book and give you what we think the content rating of the book should be, and also the spice rating of the book. It's not a judgment. It's just, just some sort of, we do have a content rating guideline on our website, so you can see how we rate books and how we do the spice rating and all of that stuff. And those things are facts about the book, not really our opinions. We do blog about our opinions and we do review our opinions here. So tonight I am going to be reviewing a book called One True Loves. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the book cover. And it'll be turned around when we actually post on YouTube. But I don't have a colored printer, so that's why it's in black and white. Anyway, this book was a quick read for me. I had to go to Miami for a work event, and I listened to it in the car on the way to Miami and on the way back. So I was able to finish the book in like 2 days. It wasn't boring at all. It was a pretty good read, and I learned about this book based on a podcast that I listened to where they were talking about the top 25-star reads of 2022. So I wrote this down because it sounded like a book that I might like to read based on the synopsis, which I'm going to get to right now. Okay. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to kind of pick a little things here and there out of it. Okay, so in her 20s, Emma Blair marries her high school sweetheart, and they're like in love with each other. They build a life for themselves far away from expectations of their parents and the people of their hometown in Massachusetts. They travel the world together, living life to the fullest and seizing every opportunity for adventure. But on their on the very first wedding anniversary that they have, Jesse, her husband, makes a very weird, and I feel like it was a very selfish decision to take this helicopter ride over the Pacific and go see a glacier that he had never seen before. So, but on his trip, the helicopter goes down and he is just missing. And they pretty much, everybody thinks he's dead. So Emma goes through this crazy depression, obviously grieving. Just the the amount of unbearable pain that she was going through. It was completely felt through the writing of this book. I felt like I was going through this grieving process with her, like by her side. So the way that the author wrote this out was incredible. I absolutely loved it. In fact, there's a part of the book, I think I texted you about it. I was like, this is weird. Never seen this done before. But the book was written in first person past tense. And while Emma's going through this grieving process, the author switches it up and goes to first present tense. So, and you kind of get this inner monologue going on with her where she's like questioning her feelings and everything. You get to kind of feel what's going on in her head. And I thought that was really unique and I really liked it. I've heard from some people that they hated that part, but I really liked it. It was pretty cool. I felt it was very authentic. And when Emma starts to come out of this depression, the author goes back to first person past. So it's been about 3.5 years now, and Emma has decided to move back to her home state of Massachusetts and work at her family's bookstore. She kind of runs into this guy, Sam, that she went to high school with. And Sam and Emma had always kind of had a thing for each other, but they never acted on it. So she decides that it's maybe time that she kind of opened herself up to love again. So she starts to date Sam. And some time goes by, they really click together. It kind of feels like perhaps, life is going to give her a second chance at love. So they get engaged, and she's now planning this wedding with Sam. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a phone call, and it's Jesse. He's alive. They found him. And now she's
stressful. This is too stressful.
She's like, oh my God, what do I do? I mean, you can just, what a nightmare situation.
Too stressful.
What?
I can't read that. That's too stressful. No.
I really liked this whole idea, which is why I wanted to read it, right? So yeah.
Of course Rebecca would like this, you guys. Of course Rebecca would.
Not a but. So Emma's got to figure out what she's going to do. I mean, she's got to figure out who she is. I mean, can she love two people? I mean, she potentially could lose them both. But she's going to obviously have to pick one, right? So she's got to go through this whole thing, and all these people are going to get hurt, so she's got to figure it out. So I'm going to leave it there.
Question. Without giving anything away, were you satisfied with how it wrapped up?
Well, I'm going to get there too. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you my compliment sandwich. Okay. Because, I mean, this is a nightmare situation, like I've said, I mean, obviously. And the situation's very messy.
Yeah.
But as I'm reading it, it's not messy enough for me. I'm sitting there and I'm reading it, and it starts to read kind of clinical for me after a while, and I'll tell you why. Because the first part of the book, there's a lot of flashbacks between Emma and Jesse's relationship. Mm-hmm. There's flashbacks between her and Sam's relationship. But there's no depth, really, so you can never get really attached to any one specific character. I liked Sam and Jesse equally, which I guess when she was writing it kind of created this love triangle, right? Because there's really no one is above the other kind of thing. So after a while, I started thinking, okay, well, it sort of felt like I was in a counselor's office, and I'm listening to this really bad situation, this really traumatic situation from a person, and going, wow, you handled that great. I mean, there was just nothing. It kind of started to feel very clinical to me, and I kind of thought that the outcome was predictable. I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. In fact, I rated it 4 stars. So I did.
I
like
should
it.
snatch one of my bloop things, one of those bloop things from you.
Yes, yes. You actually bought these, and they're all in the studio here. So
I know.
you need to get one
I
from
should
me.
have one.
Yes, you should. Take a couple. Um, so, I mean, it kind of started to read like how to fix your very messy love triangle is kind of how it ended up for me. But like I said, it was, I liked it. It was very well written. I wanted to see more depth. I would have rather seen a bigger mess, like her make some bad decisions, choose wrong, or maybe the guys start to act crazy or something. I wanted to see some more messy. But the overall message in the book, I really liked it. And I do definitely recommend that you pick this up, especially if you like heartbreaking true love stories, if you like chick lit. This was very chick lit. If you like second chance at love, and if you like love triangles, definitely pick this book up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got to get to my content ratings, don't I?
Yeah.
So I rate this adult 18 and up, and I give it 3. The sexual content is a 3, and the reason for that, this book, it had very few cuss words. I think the GD was used maybe twice, maybe 3 times. That was about it. Moderate spice. There was multiple sex act references. Sex does occur midway to towards the end of the book. And the sex scenes mostly focus on thoughts and feelings. There's no description really. You kind of know what's going on. But there's no real description in the acts. I mean, it was very thoughtful, very loving kind of stuff. So that's why I'm giving it a 3. Yeah. Yep.
So, okay. Well, that just sounds very stressful for me, so I don't know if I will read that.
I will tell you, another reason why I gave it a 4 instead of a 5 is it didn't make me cry. So for me, when messy books make me cry, I give them a 5. I didn't cry, so I was just kind of like, meh, But I mean, like I said, I did like the book. It just didn't hit me where it needed to hit me. So to be a 5.
Yeah.
So
okay. I mean, 4 is still really good, but it didn't make you cry, so that's like a 1-up for me. Like, oh, maybe I could read it then.
yeah. Like I think that you might be able to read it. I don't think it might make you tear up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to make you like
love triangles really stress me out because any way I look at it, I feel bad. Like I'm happy. And then if they don't pan out the way that I want it to, I'm like upset. Like I don't know. They're just very stressful. Very stressful.
Well, I will tell you, like the 2 men though, it's like she really couldn't make an incorrect decision. They're both great guys.
But you can. You can. And this isn't like a why I choose trope, right? So you know what that is?
No. What is that?
I'm confused. We'll have to have another conversation. So if you are watching and listening, maybe you can help us figure this out. The difference between why choose and polyamorous.
Well, I know that polyamorous is like going into a relationship with 3 people and like it's like 3 people and it's a throuple and you're with all, no. Or is it that you're just dating multiple people at the same time and the other person knows and you guys are it's like a free-for-all. It's like an open relationship, right?
I know, but then so why choose though is different. Like it's supposed to be a little different than polyamorous. So I'm just like,
is it
like why
a question?
I choose it? She gets to have a relationship with each of them, but not, I don't know how that all works, but it's not right? It's
no, this is like, she's got to make a decision. She's got to either choose to go back to her husband that has been dead for 3.5 years, or she moves forward with her fiance that she's built a life with. And, you know, and I mean, when somebody dies, you go through a lot of changes. You change a lot. Like, the person that you were is no longer the person you are. So, sorry. And so it just, you know, she's got to figure out who she is. Yeah. And what she wants. And is it a good idea to go backwards, or do you continue moving forwards? I mean, is there room to grow in this situation, or do you just shut that door and move forward? I mean, that's kind of her conundrum. So I think you should read it, because I think that you would like it. You won't want to throw the book across. It ends happy ending. You won't want to throw the book across the room.
Okay, that's a plus.
Yes.
That's a plus. For sure.
And then we can talk about it, because, you know, I wish I could say more, but I can't without giving away all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. No more.
Okay, so your overall enjoyment rating is 4 stars with a content rating of adult with a sexual content rating of 3.
Correct. Yes.
It seems like that's a pretty good read.
People that like the fade to black would definitely like this. I mean, there's, like I said, that you know what's going on, but you don't. There's not so much description about it. So, yeah. I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, then you'll like this.
I know that you were borderline between a 2 and a 3. So we're going to talk about our sexual content rating here in just a second. So we're going to go over what rating system we use in terms of sexual content. So sometimes it could be kind of difficult between a number. We don't do halves, so we like to err on the side of caution so that readers really understand and know what to expect. But we always justify our rating based on what the content rating general says, so that you can have confidence in the rating system, right? So moving on into that. So obviously you can have a sexual content rating of 0. This is going to be in all children's and middle grade books. There are 0 sexual acts, no nudity, no innocent touches, no descriptive acts whatsoever, no discussion of nudity in a sexual way. And like, yeah, there's not going to be passionate kisses or anything like that. A sexual content rating of 1. And again, this is where we like to talk about spice versus steam, right? So a 1 will have lots of steam. Steam is going to be like the tension and like the connection and like feelings that are like, oh my gosh, are they not? Are they going to kiss her? Are they not? Like all the stuff leading up to it, hand holding, touches, he grazed her arm, like all the things, right? That's steam. But there will be no spice. So there are no really descriptive, so like they're going to share a kiss, but you're not going to be reading about what their tongues are doing in the kiss, so to speak, right? So it's very innocent. He's not gonna catch her grasp in his mouth and, you know, do all the things. So there's no descriptive acts beyond kissing and innocent touches over the clothes, like, you know, he brushed her arm or her shoulder. He's not going to be groping her and going under her clothes or vice versa, whatever. There could be brief non-sexual nudity, and it focuses more on the thoughts and feelings versus what's going on in the body, you know. Mm-hmm. A level 2 will have a little to mild spice, so that means sexy times, a little bit, and they're still going to be innocent, right? So there won't be descriptive acts beyond kissing. So this one, you might get a little bit more description of the kissing, like you might have the gasps and maybe like he bit her lip or something, right? Caught her lip with his teeth, or like, you know, nipped her neck or something like that. But it doesn't go beyond that, right? And there will be still, again, innocent touches. What did I say? There will be sex references, but no or vague. So again, very mild descriptive acts beyond kissing. So like, you know, he might grab and hold on to her hip and bring him in close to her, right? Or things like that. But there's no descriptive prose and what's happening to the downtown region or to the lady's chest. I mean, I'm sure you'll read in a lot of books, things are happening to the nips and things are growing downtown or, progressively going from a desert to a rainforest. But that doesn't happen in a spice too, right? So there's no descriptions of privates above or below the waist, or what is happening to them or what's being done to them, right? And it's very fade to black. So in other words, steam could be happening, a passionate kiss could be happening, and then maybe something happened, maybe it didn't, but you're in the next scene. Like, you're not going to be with the characters through the scene, if that makes sense. So fade to black. There might be a mention of other sexual acts, but it's not descriptive. Like, so you might, friends might be talking and mention, the act of like oral sex or something, but there's no description. It's like a brief in passing, this happened or something.
Yeah, I was.
There are no restrictions.
I was going to say, like sexual humor,
Yeah,
but no
like
actual
sexual humor.
like sexual humor. Girls talking about sex acts or something like that.
But it's not going to be in like a very graphic, detailed way. It'd
Right.
be like more flowery language or like joking manner or very still somewhat innocent, not descriptive.
Right.
And then there's no restrictions on non-sexual nudity. Now, here's with Rebecca's book, why she gave this book by Taylor Jenkins Reid a 3 was because, catch me if I'm correct, right? You were with the characters while it was happening, right? It didn't like jump to the next scene. All right, so a 3 will have moderate spice. So it could have all the things in 1 and 2. In addition, there would be multiple sex act references. So not just like a single act, but there'll be multiple times that this happens. Sex will occur around the midway point or after in an average length novel. But the scenes still mostly focus on thoughts and feelings instead of just the act itself or like the physicality of it, like, humping like jackrabbits or something. Like, it's a very emotionally driven scene still. And how this differs from level 2, that I was saying, is you are with the characters through it. Like, there's not going to be a total closed door. Like, what's happening as you're reading it, but you don't have to worry about the description getting super graphic. Like, you're still not going to see penetration or licking of things or, like anything else that
Right.
There will be no graphic description of it. Okay. 4 is where we get intense, right? 4 is a more moderate spice. Again, it could have anything from 1, 2, and 3, but also 4. Where 4 changes it is that, again, the sex scenes will mostly focus on thoughts and no, what was it?
There's no thoughts and feelings in a 4.
That was at 3. So 4 is more intense. So now it's going to be moderate, verging on more intense spice. So the sex is going to happen at any point in the book, right? It's not going to be like this earned. It's not an earned event. I like to call it earned. Like, the romance isn't necessarily earned. There's a lot more like physical, hormonal, pheromone passion. So typically will happen before halfway point, and it will happen often. And there's usually often like kink or fetishes present. The language, sex and sexual language can be rough and vulgar. Not necessarily for every book, but in other words, if you are with the characters during the scene and the scenes will start getting graphic, where they will be describing everything that's happening. So you will be seeing the events, right?
And hearing it. And it'll be you'll hear it, you'll smell it, you'll see
You'll
it.
hear them flapping in the wind.
Yep.
And then the 5th one we have, just so readers are aware, the 5th one, so again, the differences between 3 and 4 is 3, you're with the characters while it's happening, but it's not descriptive. And then a 4 is you're with the characters while it's happening and it is descriptive, right? And then number 5, this is basically erotica, and sex is the driving force of the book. It basically is the plot, or equal to or above the plot. Basically erotica. So every anything goes with
Anything
number five.
goes.
But and
Like
to be
I would
honest,
say,
Rebecca and I probably won't be reading those or rating those, to be honest, because that's not our jam. So,
no.
you know,
I mean, everybody used to call it the Harlequin novels, right? When you would think of erotica and stuff like that. But I'm here to tell you that that is not even a thing anymore. I think Harlequin novels are probably tame compared to what's out there now. Probably a 3, yeah.
probably a 3, maybe 4, but I would assume
Yeah.
a 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so it no longer applies.
Well, that's what we came up with. If you guys have any like suggestions, if something wasn't clear enough, we'd love to hear your feedback on it. But that's just kind of like what was for us was important, because there's some people who just don't, and we've shared this before. Like the example I keep coming back to is it happened one summer. Like I had no idea who Tessa Bailey was before. I didn't do my research on her before. I saw that this book was super popular. People were raving about it all over Book Talk, and it had a fun, cute cartoon cover, and they're calling it like a nice like rom-com, like chick rom-com, and I was like, okay, suggested it to book club. And I was like, what? It was a 4 for sure.
Well, I mean, it was a 4, but there was some stuff in it that we were just like, well, I sort of missed it. And Laura's like, you missed that whole section in this book where it talked about this. And I was like, oh, it did?
Yeah. It was a 4, which was shocking. And to me, it was a little too much. Like I'm not trying to be prude, and that's just my opinion. I'm not judging anybody for their reading or whatever, but I was just like, this is a perfect example on why we have ratings, because there were some in our book club like who were offended. Yeah. Like it was not something they were prepared for, and I didn't know to warn them. And again, same thing, they had the same idea, cute cartoon cover, rom-com. So, it would just have been nice. I mean, granted, we're adults, and I know we can skip pages and whatnot, but still, we shouldn't have to do that. And then you miss some of the reading experience, like if you fast forwarded too much, and then some of us, like we shared last time, like a lot of us when we read, we get very vivid images. So
Right.
Some of us are just not down for that. But then again, there's other people who hate Fade to Black, and they like want to throw the book because it didn't go where they wanted it to go, right? So this will help them pick a book that they want to read. So, and then of course, again, thinking of kids and children and young teens and stuff on what's appropriate or not. Although this could be a whole nother discussion. And I don't know, I don't want to get political. To me, it's not political, but there is a huge debate of people considering parenting censoring, and that, parents should just let their kids read anything and everything that they want. And I was like, in my opinion, absolutely not. And that's for you to decide for your own child. But
we're not judging those parents. If that's how you choose to parent, then that's fine. But for the parents that want a little bit of help in this situation, because I mean, as parents, we're super busy. There's other stuff going on. I mean, as it is, we have a hard time watching movies or figuring out if a movie is okay for our child to watch, much less take the time to read a book that they want to read just to make sure it's okay.
So I just was like, you parent your kid how you want, but
right.
I have a right as a parent, for me, to help my child pick books that I feel are appropriate for them and that they can handle. So we need tools. We need tools to be able to do that, because books are not, as you were pointing out, books can't just be ingested in an hour and a half. Like it takes a long time. So, and you could do the research. We talked about the issues with that, of like getting spoilers and reviews not always, telling us what they mean. Like you can say, oh, this book is steamy. Well, we just talked about, to us, steamy is not spicy. But for some people, steamy is spicy. So it's like we have to have a scale, and then people can decide on the scale where what they can handle and what they like to read, So it's just
that's the whole point of our podcast, of why we started Bloop to begin with, is we wanted wanted this tool. And since it didn't exist, we decided we were going to make it exist. And Laura came up with this great rating system, because books don't have ratings. They have genres, but not ratings. We believe that readers have a right to know what they're reading, what they're going to spend their time and their energy and hours and days sometimes reading a book.
And money.
It's kind of an investment. It's money. It's an investment. You're investing your time. You're investing your emotions. You're investing what you are allowing into your brain.
Yep.
So we deserve to know you and for reading all these books and giving them ratings, so that there is a to go to reading. And like I said, we have a web page where we have our content ratings and our sexual content ratings laid out, so you can see everything in black and white. It's not a judgment to anybody. We're not judging anybody. We're not telling you what to read. We're not telling you what not to read. We're just saying simply, this is what this book has in it. You choose. And that's
I'm going to show you guys really quick. So here's our website. Yay! Right? So if you go here, we have reviews and blogs. So this is where every book that we review, you can go and click on it, and it will give you the content rating. Here, I'll just go to this one really quick. I just did this one last week, Daughter of the Pirate King. And, you see you have it, you get your content rating and the sexual content rating. And then you have that, and then we give our overall review and why that may or may not be a book for you. And then we also have the ratings like we talked about, and we go through and it explains everything there for you guys. So just wanted to show our website to you guys because we worked really hard. Sorry, there's my window.
It's an awesome website. We worked really hard on it. It's really pretty, and you should go look at it.
And from there, you can go ahead and go right to watch it. Click on our YouTube, our YouTube link from there. Will you ask your hubby if Rumble's connected?
Rumble, I think that there's like a little thing at the bottom where you can click on it. It'll take you to Rumble. I'm not sure.
I
I'm
think
not 100%.
YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor FM.
Oh, okay. And then he doesn't have Rumble in there yet. He needs to put Rumble in there.
Okay.
He's watching this, so
I just showed you. So you can scroll to the bottom. You can listen to us you can listen and watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify. I don't know if you can watch us there yet. And then Anchor FM. And I'm super excited because Rebecca and I I'm going to be joining her in the studio this weekend. We're going to film some episodes for you guys. And this will be on books. This will be on books that we have read together. So we're going to have a little bit of a different format. It's going to be a little bit more of like a discussion format. There will be spoilers. So just a heads up, if you want to join us, the books that we will be reviewing soon and bringing to you guys soon, so you're going to have a little time to read them if you want to, are It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, both by Colleen Hoover. And then we're going to be doing Defy the Night and Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kemmerer. Yeah, Bridget Kemmerer.
yes.
Say that 10 times fast. So we will post it in the comments. I'll post it in the comments here when I post this episode in Instagram. Those are the 4 books. So we will be filming those this weekend, and it'll be fun to be in the studio with you, Rebecca. But so you guys have a little time if you want to read them first, because when we air them, it's going to have spoilers. So
yes, and we'll put a little ticker on the bottom of the screen that says spoiler alert, so that so if you haven't read the book, you can just stop listening at that point. So we will warn you.
It'll be in the description too, so there'll be spoilers, but it'll be it'll be fun.
That is all the time that we have tonight, guys. And again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok. And we'll see you next week. Until then,
hold on really quick. Your husband says, our producer is her husband, Ron. Rumble is connected. Not all episodes are all uploaded. That's fine. But I guess so Rumble is connected to our site. There you go. That answered your question. Thank you, Ron. But yeah, what Rebecca was saying, thank you all so much for joining us.
yes.
Hope you have a good reading week. Really quick before we close, Rebecca, what are you reading now?
Well, we've started, Laura and I have started to read Knitting in the City series by Penny Reid again. We've already read this series once, but we decided that we wanted to read it together so that we can do a live about it, I guess.
We love Penny Reid. We love the Winston Brothers series. This is like the series you should read before you read the Winston Brothers. You don't have to, but it's fun.
Right.
I
read the first one. I read the first one, Neanderthal Seeks Human.
Yeah.
And the second one, it's book 1.5. So I think Neanderthal Marries. I forget what the rest of it's called. Neanderthal Marries.
That one. I gotta do that one.
Oh, you didn't read it? Oh my gosh,
No.
that one's my favorite one about her. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
I'm already on book 4. Well, so I gotta ask what happened with Audible, because all the books in Knitting in the City and Winston Brothers are on Audible free. It's part of the Audible membership, except for book 3.
That's weird.
In the Knitting in the City. So I feel like something happened, that something went wrong. I don't feel like that would seem like an odd choice, right? To only have 1 out of 16 books, not
yeah, that is
part of the series.
weird.
So I'm gonna message the author and just see what happens. But
maybe she's doing a recover or something. I don't know.
Maybe, but so I had to skip book 3, so I'm on book 4, which is Beauty and the Mustache.
Okay, well stop, because you need to go back and read book 1.5 or whatever it is.
I can't. But this one's my favorite because this is Ashley and Drew, and it's now I'm seeing all the characters from the Winston Brothers. So I'm like, well, maybe after I read this one, I'll go back to that one. So
I do like Ashley's
I'm reading
story.
that, but I'm still reading Good Boundaries and Goodbyes. It's obviously going super slow. And I had to start reading something called the Zodiac Academy.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that. Is that a young adult book?
No.
Oh.
I would call it new adult, the older, but we're not doing that rating. It based on our rating system, it's adult. It's adult.
Oh, okay.
Even though I think it's advertised as marketed as new adult. I have a lot to say about it, but that's for another time, because the next time I'm with you guys, I will be reviewing book 2 in the Daughter of the Pirate King duology. So anyway, so sorry.
That'll be next week.
We were doing so good. We had 3 minutes over an hour 6, but I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be fun. So go ahead and comment below what you guys are reading and if you recommend it. And so Rebecca and I can look into it and add it to our ever increasing, never ending TBR. Guys, what we were reading, what you can look forward to from us. And that's all.
And you can also,
I have to say.
You can follow Bloop on Goodreads also. So everything that we've reviewed is also on Bloop's Goodreads. So And you can follow us independently too. We're also independently on Goodreads as well, but just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah. And now, are you Rebecca Long on Goodreads, or are you Celtic Bee?
I'm Rebecca Long on Goodreads. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm author Laura Detering on Goodreads. Okay.
Well, have a good evening, guys. And we're sorry we kept you a little bit, but we just can never stop.
This is our best time. Yeah, we're doing great. We're not even.
I know. I think we are doing good. But hi, Brooke. I see you there. Brooke, my son's fiance, has been watching us this whole time. So.
Oh, I waved to her at the beginning. I didn't know that's who it was. All right. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Have a great night. We'll talk soon. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.